Now, if there's one thing out there that upsets racists more than racial minorities being in proximity to them, it's being called racist. Now, some Trump supporters at his Ohio rally recently complained about being affixed with that label, and then immediately responded during the same interview with some very clearly racist remarks. Now, this is from The Atlantic, who did a bunch of interviews with Trump supporters at this Ohio rally, and here's some of the results. Now, one man, 74-year-old Richard Haynes, told the reporter, "We're all tired of being called racists. You open your mouth, you're a racist. My daughter is a liberal, and she's using that word all the time. We don't talk politics. We can't. All the time, she always accuses me of hate." Haynes told The Atlantic that he's not a hateful person. In fact, he had just returned from a missionary trip to Thailand. And he explained that he's also not a bigot, like his own father, who didn't like black people. He said of Donald Trump, quote, "Donald is not a racist, you know. He makes a statement and they take the words out of context and try to twist everything so that he's a racist, and I think it's going to backfire." Is that it? So, now, okay, he claims Donald Trump, not a racist, right? Okay, so let's go through and let's examine some of the things that Donald Trump said. On some of the Central American countries, right? And maybe it's not the Central American countries that he called this. I forget exactly where he called this, but you remember calling these countries S-hole countries. Now, I remember that. How is that that not racist? When you call an entire country a crap hole. Or, okay, let's go to something that's a little bit more, a little bit easier, right? Labeling Mexicans criminals and rapists. How is that not racist at all? How is denying black people apartments at Trump Tower, despite having good references and good financial history? How's that not racist? How's constantly referring to black Democratic congresspeople as having low IQ? How is that not racist? I'm just kind of curious, right? Now, I'm not saying Donald Trump is a KKK, white sheet hood wearing, burning cross, racist, right? What I'm saying is that he does believe in a lot of those old racial stereotypes and doesn't question them at all. And so he just blurts out things that, were acceptable back in his time, right? Because a lot of people believed in those stereotypes. And again, he still believes in them. And so he blurts it out and he's like, what? Why? How is that racist? Because it is. Guess what? Times change. And it was African countries, by the way, and Haiti, and one of the Central American countries, El Salvador as well. Of course, a lot of Trump supporters, they don't call those countries Central America, by the way. They call them Mexican countries. Because there's more than one, apparently, more than one Mexico. But anyway, there's more. 2 women who had driven an hour and a half from Lexington, Kentucky, told the Atlantic's reporter that Trump's critics were, quote, wishing him towards being a bigot. No, we don't wish anybody to be a bigot. And that one of them cited her own family's racial diversity to defend herself from charges of racism. This is good. Rosanna, a 50-year-old who declined to give her last name, she said, quote, "I'm sick to death of it. I have 13 grandchildren. 13. 4 of them are biracial, black and white. Another 2 of them are black and white. And another 2 of them are Singapore and white." I believe that would be Asian. "You think I'm a racist? I go and I give them kids kisses like nobody's business." Oh, because, that immediately makes it so that any racist thought that you have is completely dispelled. No, that's not how that works. Turns out you can be a racist if you have black grandkids or Latino husband or wife or whatever. Those people are not your shield. They're not your get out of racism free card. You can have racist feelings and still be friends with or be married or even have children that are of, another descent. I mean, look at Ann Coulter. I don't quite remember where she adopted her kids from, but she's still a racist because she says very racist things and has very racist views. Even if they're not about her kid, there's still a view about a race of people. But now Rosanna, she said that she actually didn't want to join in the chant of send her back towards Ilhan Omar, but had this to say, quote, I don't want her stinking Muslim crap in my country. Her friend, 48-year-old Amy, added, Sharia law. Sharia law. Well, wait a minute. I don't want her stinking crap in my country because it's Sharia law. Show me one example of Ilhan Omar trying to spread Muslim Sharia law. You can't find it. It doesn't exist. But here's the thing, right? My country. Oh, was it Lori Ingram? Yeah. So it wasn't Ann Coulter. It was Lori Ingram, by the way. Ann Coulter's just racist. Yeah. But anyway, here's the thing, right? So they say my country. Well, what makes it your country more than hers? She's an American. Oh, no, it's because she's Muslim. And apparently you can't be a good American and be a Muslim. Look, I've heard this rhetoric before where, some of these ultra right-wing pundits, they say, well, you can't be a good American and be a Muslim at the same time. They're incompatible with American values. Well, that's not true at all. And Sharia law, by the way, Sharia law sounds a lot like old Christian law. It's basically the same kind of thing. So you might want to look that up. But anyway, and by the way, Sharia law. They don't even know what Sharia law is. And that's the irony here. But Rosanna said this, quote, that's not America, who questioned whether Omar had illegally entered the U.S. She's a Muslim through and through. She wants all that here. Now, why would you question if she had legally entered the United States? Again, how is that not bigoted and racist? Ilhan Omar was a refugee. She fled Somalia. A lot of that stuff, right? The violence, the extremism, the poverty. She's now an American citizen. Same as you. Well, actually, no, not the same. She's better because she actually represents what America is supposed to be. Somebody who believes in the American dream so much, or at least her family, that her family chose, out of all the places in the world to go, they chose to come to America. And they chose to serve this country. She chose to serve as a congresswoman so that she could make this country better. Not Sharia law, not more Muslim, but better. As in good policy, better health care, better education, to help people, millions of Americans, just like Rosanna, by the way. But see, here's the thing. They don't see it. Why? Because she's black and she's a Muslim. They see her and they think, no, she's the other. I don't like her. I don't trust her. Well, you know what that is? That's racism. Finally, there's another Trump fan outside the arena. Said the crowd in Greenville, North Carolina had gotten carried away by chanting, send her back. Okay, hey, that's great. They did get carried away. In fact, it was a terrible racist chant. But then he added, I'd buy her a ticket so that she could go on a cruise back. She's a very ungrateful person. Look at that black Somali. But we were so gracious and kind enough to take in from her crap hole of a country. We're the good guys here. We saved her, and she has the audacity to be ungrateful, to complain. Look at that mindset. That's racism. Why? Because it invokes the white savior complex. How dare she complain about this country when we were so kind as to let someone like her into my country? That's what that is. That statement is filled with white supremacy. Our country is better because white people run it. And so we're so benevolent, though. We're such good white people. We're such good Christians, right? That we have deigned to share this country with people lucky enough to come here. So you better not complain or we'll send you back. That's what that is. This is why we call Trump supporters racist. And if you don't want to be called racist, then there's one pretty simple thing that you can do. You stop being racist. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.